Hello, how are y'all doing? How are y'all doing? So let's hope that my cat doesn't like troll today and do the mostest. We're gonna see how that works. I'm just going to really quickly post the link on the Patreon because I had some issues setting up right now, which is why it took me a minute. But hello, how are y'all doing? I hope you guys are well. Okay, get shareable link. Patreon. Just gotta post it on Patreon real quick and then we're gonna get started. I also have an announcement that I'm going to be making. The patrons who are here already know what that is. Because we are doing some twings. I'm really excited to share with y'all what we're going to be working on. So post. Okay, add Earl. But let me know in the comments how y'all doing. I'm gonna be looking at the comments in a second. But I hope you all are well. I hope y'all is well. I've been having a very interesting my girl's blowing kisses at me. She a little jealous that I put makeup on for you guys. She's like, yo, do it for me. I'm like, it's the Rona. Where are we going? What are we doing? She's just like, so, okay. So the patrons got the link. Okay, perfect. All right, perfect. So we are going to start getting right into it. We are going to be doing a grounding meditation. I don't know if y'all noticed, but this background keeps getting fuller and fuller of plants because, you know, that's just how I do. Every time I see a plant, I'm just like, I want it. I'm waiting to get the birds of paradise. I've been dying to get the birds of paradise for a long time. That's the next one that I'm getting, but I've just been getting a ton of plants lately. A ton of plants. So yeah, so the patrons got the info. So let me just go ahead and open up everything else. No. Hold on. I hope everybody is well. I hope you guys had a productive week. I definitely had, I feel like this past week was a little bit more chaotic than I would have liked it to be, but it ended up being that way. It bees what it bees, to be honest. It feels a little bit chaotic, and it has been feeling like that for a minute. We're gonna talk about the astrology of everything. There's a specific thing that I want to focus on astrologically for this specific weekly healing circle. And we've talked about, you know, we've talked about it before, but there is a specific something that I've just noticed that's been happening, like low key. So I just wanted to kind of highlight it and talk about it today. But before we do all of that, we are actually going to go into a meditation. I wanted to do a grounding meditation because I feel like we kind of need it. It's been feeling very, very like, I don't know about you guys, but I've been almost feeling lightheaded lately, which is something that, which is something that's very kind of rare for me because I'm a very grounded person, even though you guys know I have my moon is in Gemini by all accounts. But I have been feeling very, very airy lately. And so it's been, I don't know, it's just been a little bit of a situation when it comes to that. So I want to see how you guys are doing as well. So so it's not just like I don't feel like I'm completely crazy right now. But yeah, there's a couple of different things, a couple of different changes astrologically that we're going to be talking about. But let me just look at the comments for a second real quick. I am going to be pulling the mudra cards before we go into the meditation, because we will be using it, okay? We will be using it, 1000%. Also, we will be doing the I will be pulling oracle cards for you guys as well. If you guys want to put your questions ahead of time, I'm gonna get to it in the later part of this specific live. But you have the option of picking from the Flowers of the Dead oracle deck, the Archangel Raphael oracle deck, the Archangel Michael oracle deck, the Archangel Gabriel oracle deck, the Flower Therapy oracle deck, and the Romance Angels oracle deck. Okay, so if you want me to pull a card for you during the live, you can just put it under a super chat of like $5 and up or whatever, and then I will pull a card for you and see what's going on. I might limit it to 5 people again, just because I have to wake up at like 4 something in the morning to go to work tomorrow. They gave me 2 straight weeks of straight morning shifts. I'm like dreading it so bad, because I am not a morning person. I am very much a night person. I always have been. I am a creature of the night. So it's gonna be a very kind of, I don't want to manifest it's gonna be an annoying kind of week, but yeah, hopefully it's not. So let me just look at your comments real quick. Hello everybody. On the buns are to die for. Thanks, boo. I literally didn't get a chance to do my twisties because your homegirl is, you know, going through her moon cycle right now, and she's tired and she went to the gym and everything. We still doing the personal trainer thing. I have lost what, I think it was like a total like 5 pounds or something. We're actually losing more weight. Like he told us that we're usually ahead. We're like ahead of the, like, you know, the losing part of it for whatever reason. We're just been kind of doing our thing, and we've been just losing it faster. But yeah, I've been getting my ass whooped, and so yeah, I didn't have the energy. It's plus the moon is in Taurus right now, so I'm just like, I don't feel like doing all that right now. Especially because they take me like 2 hours to do, so I'm just like, you know what, I'm just gonna chill. I'm sorry if you guys are getting glitches. Sorry about any type of glitches. How are you guys? Okay, you look cute. I love it. Oh, thanks, love. How was your day? I had a very chaotic day, actually. In the earlier part of the day, I had like a family emergency, and then like it kind of calmed down the mid part of the day, and then I actually got to go back to, you know, doing the work that I need to do, especially for the Patreon, to like in the later part of the day. And I'm just like, yo, today has been like a roller coaster of stuff. So it's kind of been all over the place. I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's kind of been a little bit all over the place. You look so beautiful. Oh, thank you. Leo rising. Thank you for, this is, by the way, this is Fenty. This is a combination of Chanel and Fenty, actually, because I'm wearing a lip liner. But thank you for everybody. Bay's already, like, she was a little jealous. When I first, like, I was about to start going live, she's like, were you looking cute? And oh, thank you if you're new to the channel. Thank you so much. Welcome. Hi, I felt out of touch with my energy lately. What can I do to help that? I think, oh, help with that. Okay. Honestly, a couple of things, to be honest, because I feel like I have been in a flux of emotions this past week. But since we are in a fire kind of season, you do have to connect with your solar plexus energy. This is why when I did my last video, if you guys saw it, okay, if you guys saw it, when I told you that I created that energy, especially with the hexing spell, that was really important for me to kind of like release, because we're in Leo season. It's all about fire. It's all about energy. So for me, it's connecting to that fire element, making sure that I am well rested. This is why cats, Leos, they sleep a lot. And this is why I'm not a morning person. They gave me 2 weeks of just straight 6 a.m. shifts. I'm so mad. I like to sleep. I like to rest. I like to just, especially because I do a lot of dream work anyway, so I like to rest. And so it's really important for me to like connect with that energy and just rest. So that's something that I do to kind of get back in touch with my energy. I literally go to sleep, especially during Leo season. You have to rest. I just got me an aloe vera plant this weekend. I have one. Yo, you know what the funny thing is? I put my aloe vera plant because we were still moving around the room and stuff by the AC, and for some reason it's been growing faster since it's been by the AC, and it's just like, I'm just like, why are you growing faster now that you're by the AC? Like, it doesn't make any logical sense to me because aloe vera is not like one of those plants, and I'm just like, why are you, I don't know. My aloe vera has a different type of personality, I guess. Made it to the live this week. You look fierce, all done up. Thanks, boo. I feel so unbalanced today. Listen, and it's crazy because the moon is in Taurus. This is a really beautiful moon to just like enjoy and relax, but it just feels really weird. But we're gonna talk about it. I shot your DM on IG about Kemeticalism and books you recommend. So I don't check my DMs like that because I just get so many of them. I recommend either emailing me, but when it comes to like recommendations and things like that, I currently have a book club on the Patreon specifically for that specific reason, because I do get a lot of requests for books and resources and stuff like that. So I do recommend checking out the Patreon for that, because we are going to be going through all different types of books in all areas of spirituality. We're currently reading one like right now, and I update it every week. We have different kind of questions per week. We have different chapters we have to cover per week, and it's supposed to be a very spiritual, like, developing time. So when it comes to books and stuff like that, definitely check out the Patreon. That's what I would recommend. So my heart chakra has been hurting so bad. That is not good, boo, because your heart chakra has to stay very light. Okay, it has to, because if it's not light, you can't get through like a lot. Like, there's a lot that you can't get through if your heart chakra is blocked, because your heart chakra is such a, it's like an equalizer. You have to look at the heart chakra. It's the midway point between your upper chakras and your lower chakras. Okay, so if your midway point is not functioning properly, you are not able to connect not only spiritually, but then you're also having issues like in your, like, in the physical realm chakras as well. So it kind of creates a lot of unnecessary chaos. So heart chakra work is something that some of you guys who've been following me for a while know that I have done. Like, before I oh, sorry, I just got a text. I was like, what? Some of you guys know the story of how I manifested Bay, and what the healing work that I had to do before I even manifested Bay, because it had to happen. I had to go through healing my heart chakra before I met her, because I had to be ready. I had to be ready and open to receive that. And especially manifesting like soulmates and stuff like that, if your heart chakra is not good, they come in and they do a lot. They kind of can wreck your life really easily, because you're not going to be able to handle the, hold on, I just like done dropped. Babe. I just like dropped like half the mudra deck because it's just so thick. Babe, can you help me? Please? Thank you. She's such a sweetheart. But yeah, I had to do a lot of heart chakra healing work because of the amount of like emotional chaos that I was going through. You guys also know, I've talked about this before, that I, like, my Venus is something that I actually wounded in a past life, and we talked about that in a couple of past weekly healing circles beforehand, and that's something that I'm actually still healing in this lifetime. So anything in relation to Venus is something that I'm healing in this lifetime. So when it comes to Venus type energy and going through that healing, no, stop trying to bring Luna over here. She's just gonna get hyper. Babe wanted to show you guys Luna, but she's just chilling. She's gonna be all over the place a little bit later. But yeah, when it comes to like maintaining and like living your life through having like a wounded Venus, wounded heart chakra energy, it creates a lot of chaos if you don't heal it properly and give it the time that it needs to heal to. You can't bum rush your heart chakra healing. It took me a while, like all in total it probably took me like a year and some change to heal my heart chakra. A good year, to be honest, to heal my heart chakra and then actually release all pain. It was so bad that I will hold a rose quartz in my hands, which is supposed to be like one of the easiest crystals to work with, right? And it would actually hurt to hold it. That's how bad my heart chakra was. Like it hurt to hold it, because it was definitely like that divine love energy, but it hurt to hold it in and to like try to even connect with it. It hurt so bad. That's why when to heal my heart chakra I used jade. That's what I used, because it was too harsh on me, like the sensitivity. It was just asking for too much from me. And then I remember about 2 weeks before I met Bae, I was getting my level 2 Reiki, the Kemetic Reiki certification in Atlanta. And while I was there, I was gravitated towards the rose quartz. Like it was picking me. Even when we were doing, there was a specific part of a ritual that we were doing, the rose quartz was just picking me, and I had to connect with it. And when I held it, it felt so light and it felt so good. And I was like, okay, I've done a lot of work with this. I was really proud of myself when that happened last year, because I really needed that release. I needed that shift. I needed that change. So heart chakra work, good luck, girl, but you got to be consistent with yourself. That's what I would say when it comes to that. Girl, I'm feeling dizzy as fuck lately too. Vertical or listen, we're gonna talk about it, okay? I've been tired recently, kind of paranoid, but that's probably because I stayed up until 4 a.m. That's gonna be me tomorrow. No, it has been a little bit exhausting, and I feel like Leo season calls for more rest than probably any other season, honestly, because Leo also tends to be almost kind of about the midway point in astrology. So they just like, you just need to nap. You just really need to rest and relax and just pull it back. I almost blacked out at work just getting up one day, started chugging water. After that, yeah, I've been drinking a lot of water as well. You have a muggle job? I had no clue. Yeah, I manifested last year where I'm working now. So I work at a grocery store, and the reason why I did that was because just to have a side extra income in addition to what I do, like with you guys and everything like that. And eventually I know I'm gonna leave, and you know, I'm gonna be doing more of this stuff with you guys. But I wanted to keep that job. Like my spirit, when I left, I used to work at Apple before last year, and I left, and I just never wanted to work for another, like any type of corporate, any type of retail, anything, except what I told myself was, I do want to have access to food. I wanted to have easier access to food, and I was moving at the time. I was moving from New York to Jersey, and so I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna do this, I want to just have a really clear cut, easy, but I wanted to make sure that I had access to food. And my spirit told me, make sure you have access to food. Make sure that you can, you know, buy your groceries, buy different types of stuff, try different types of stuff. And lo and behold, 2020 comes, and then the Rona comes, and everybody gets fired. And meanwhile, I'm literally still working, because I'm still an essential worker. And I am grateful that I was intuitively, like, I just listened to myself into what I wanted during that time. And I was just like, you know what, let me just do something that's really easy and really quick, and, you know, just gives me that side extra income, but at the same time, like, I can still focus on what I'm supposed to be doing, which is you guys. So that's why I did that. I mean, I know eventually I'm gonna leave, but it actually was a huge blessing in disguise, because I got it super easy. It manifested like this, like, let me tell you. And then once everything kind of, you know, settled in, and 2020 came, I moved in with Bae, and then boom, literally the next day, quarantine. Everybody's just in quarantine. I'm just like, wow. And then left and right, like within the next couple of days, people were getting fired left and right, and it just kept happening. And I'm just like, wow, like, this is crazy. Like, I don't have anything to complain about, because I do feel like Spirit has set me up in a way that I'm not lacking anything. I'm still like very much safe. I'm not like in debt in that capacity. I'm not like, you know, getting evicted, any of the sort. Like I'm pretty much good, and I still have access to food, which is really important, because we're going to be talking about the food shortage that's happening in the world. Okay, we're going to be talking about that a little bit later, but trust me, I was set up for success last year. Spirit literally like set me up for success with that. But yeah, I do have a muggle job on the side. I want to connect with my ancestors. Wait. But I can't get an altar for them right now because I'm kind of young. How can I connect with them? Easiest way, well, honestly, the easiest way is meditation. But the other easiest way, if you wanted to kind of still honor them, like do libations and stuff like that, if you get a plant that you can water every day. This is the key point on this, because there are plants that you can't water every single day because you will damage them, they will grow mold, and it's just not good for them. Get you a plant that you can water every single day, or at least every other day or something like that, where you can actually say, hey ancestors, I'm using this specific plant for you guys, and so this will be our routine. This is how we're going to connect, and then do libations that way. But you can also do it outside. You can do it with a tree, because you can water a tree every day. That's not like a problem. You can do it outside. You can do it in a park. You could pick a tree, say this is my ancestor tree, every day I'm going to come out and water you. Or you can even just do it in meditation. If you wanted to keep it as simplistic as possible, just do it in meditation. But I like to connect with the earth energy specifically when it comes to the ancestors, because it's just better, if that makes any sense. Okay, so I'm gonna pause real quick because I'm gonna pick the mudras so we can start doing the meditation. So collectively, let's see, 3 mudras for us for this meditation. Which mudras should we be using for this grounding meditation? Which mudras should we be using for this grounding meditation? There's already one that fell on the floor that I'm gonna have to get. Hold on. Let me just grab it real quick. Oof. That was hard, but okay, so we got one. Just want to pick 2 more so you guys got options. Just be using for this grounding meditation. Collectively be using. Okay, so we got the other 2, and then I'll be pulling one later for the week, so you guys can work on that one for the week. Okay, so the first one is radiating current energy, the horizontal current energy of energy enhances digestion at all levels of my being. So radiating current energy is the first one. So take a good look at it. Okay. Take a good look at it. So it says this one's especially helpful for enhancing digestion and assimilation, supporting circulation and lymphatic drainage from the lower estramites, I pronounced that wrong, digesting life experiences more easily, cultivating energy, self-esteem, and determination. So take a look at it again. For those who want to work on this one for the grounding meditation, take a look at it again. Okay, so the next one is one-pointed concentration. Deepening my one-pointed concentration, I enter smoothly and easily into meditation. So if you're one of those people who has issues meditating, this is gonna be the mudra for you. So you are, just make sure you're paying attention to what it looks like. Start practicing with your hands if this is the one that you want to connect to. Okay, and then in the back, it says especially helpful for improving concentration by focusing on a chosen object as a preparation for meditation, and enhancing digestion and clarifying our life purpose and vision. So I'm going to hold this in the back for those who are going to watch later and are going to want to read the back of the card. And later on, I will have, once I update the description of this video, of this live, I will have the links to the cards below so you guys can, you know, if you want to purchase that card, the deck, it is on Amazon, so you guys can purchase it. I'll have the link below, so just stay tuned for that. And then the next one is opening to receive abundantly. With greater openness to receive, the divine provides for all my needs, okay? And this is what it looks like. So start practicing it. Okay, take a good look. And then the back says, Especially helpful for creating a natural sense of openness to receive abundantly, to support digestion, release tension from the mid-back, okay? Supporting the health of the kidneys and adrenal glands, cultivating self-esteem, which helps improve beliefs of unworthiness and inadequacy, okay? So that's the back for my people who are gonna come back later to the live, and see you later. Just pause the video, let's go read it. All right, so these are the 3. So before we go into the meditation, take a look at which one you're gonna be using again for the last time. Okay, and when you're ready, just start sending me hearts on the chat so I know that you guys are ready to begin. Let me know when y'all ready. Let me know if you need me to put it up again as well. Just gonna. Okay. All right. I'm waiting. I'm gonna wait for like 3 more hearts, and then we're gonna get started. So let me know. Let me know when y'all ready. Is everybody ready? Y'all good? Okay. Okay, put the cards up again. So there we go. So pick your mudra and we're gonna get started. Got it? Okay. So I want everybody to close their eyes. If you want to lay down for this, lay down for this. If you want to get in lotus pose or half lotus, get in those poses right now. Relax, close your eyes, breathe, breathe, okay? Just relax, breathe, breathe. You're gonna start breathing in and out. You're gonna start to visualize yourself surrounded by stars inside of a golden egg. And this golden egg is divine healing energy. And you're breathing in that divine healing light. And you're breathing out. You're going to send that divine healing light anywhere in your body that needs a little bit more attention. Breathing in, and you're breathing out. And you're going to start to bring your energy, your focus, down to the base of your spine, to your root chakra. You're going to zoom in to your root chakra. And you're going to start visualizing a door. You're going to open that door. And through the door, you're going to see a tunnel. You're going to start walking through the tunnel to the lights at the end. As you emerge into your root chakra, you can see the state of what your root chakra looks like. You can see your ancestors. You can see your blockages. You can see your finances. You can see the relationships that you have. You can see all of the things you have built. This beautiful garden at the base of your spine. You're going to start to bring your focus to one thing in your root chakra that seems out of place. You're going to start approaching it. And you're going to ask, why are you here? And wait to receive the answer. As you receive the message, ask yourself, is this something that is helping me or preventing me to move forward? If it's preventing you in moving forward, take a moment to reach down into the ground where this thing has been planted and remove the root. And as you pull it out of the ground, watch it disintegrate in your hands. Moving forward, this cannot affect you any longer. Take a minute to thank your ancestors in your root chakra for helping you and guiding you every day. When you're ready, start making your way back through the tunnel, out of your root chakra, and back inside of the golden egg. And you're going to breathe in that divine healing light, and you're going to breathe out. You're breathing in, and you're breathing out. When you're ready, you can start to come back. Let me know in the comments when you guys are back. Okay. So how was that for you guys? Feel so much more grounded. That's good. That is very, very good. I wanted to do a root chakra meditation for this one, for this specific live, specifically because the moon is in Taurus. And I have, again, it's just been so lightheaded that I'm like, I'm sure I'm not the only one that is feeling like this. So, and usually the things I feel like right before I live, it ends up just being like the same things you guys are feeling. So I'm like, okay, let's just do the thing. You know what I mean? My golden egg has a window where I could see the stars. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, my golden egg, I see like all the stars surrounding me during when I do that meditation as well. My stomach was hurting before doing this. I feel so much better. I feel connected to my root consciousness. Yes, because there is a lot of consciousness in your root chakra that we kind of tend to, you know, dismiss a little bit, because we think that we are mentally, like, since we're in the physical realm, since our physical bodies are in the physical realms, it does feel like you kind of know everything sometimes, when it's still an energy, you know, your root chakra is still very much an energy. So I hugged my ancestors. I thank them. That's really good. I've been loopy since the month started. That meditation helped me feel grounded again. I appreciate it. You're welcome. Okay, you're definitely welcome with that. We're going to be doing more of these every week in the weekly healing circles. That's why I bought these specifically, to help and assist you guys with like connecting and grounding in that way. That's exactly why I bought those cards. You guys don't even, I was like, I need to buy them. I need to. So I'm glad that you guys are enjoying them, and we are going to be using them every single week. That's why it's called the weekly healing circle, because we are healing together every week. That's the whole point, okay? Now, we got to talk about some things, okay? Specifically when it comes to, for me, Uranus, okay? We got to talk about Uranus, because homeboy, home sir, has been doing a lot energetically to the world. And I think that it's time to kind of look at what has happened since Uranus, you know, went into Taurus. And I mean, this is a very long transit, so by no means, shapes, or forms is this the moment where we dissect every single thing. But I just wanted to kind of highlight the energy for you guys, because when it comes to Uranus is a very higher conscious planet, okay? Uranus tends to be very, very focused on the collective consciousness, the collective development, the collective evolution of the world, of our minds, of our spirits. And this is why, planetary wise, he moves the way he does. And I've spoke about Uranus before many times, because he tends to have this energy of like, you know, unexpected, boom, something just happened and threw it in your face. I feel like when it comes to life, we collectively get into routines, right? We get into routines, and it's very Saturnian. I 100% understand, because it's very Saturnian to have a routine and be like, okay, I got what I need to work on, I'm good, you know, like the mindset's good, I got my goals and all this type of stuff. And then Uranus, along the lines of you kind of going through the motions of going through life, I do feel like we can get complacent, we get stagnant, we get even though we are climbing towards certain things, we do get comfortable within our own energy, within the way that we develop, within the way that we get to those destinations that we have set out for ourselves. Uranus really comes in and challenges us and says, hey, you can't get to this destination if you stay the same. That's not exactly how I work. That's not exactly how elevation works. You can't just be exactly like, even think about it, like even when you were a baby, a child, you can't be a child and handle all the things that you're going through in life right now. You can't just take a child and be like, hey, you got debt now, you have to worry about this, you have to feed yourself, you have to work. Like telling a baby that, you know what I mean? You just can't do that, because it's a child. It's in a different state of development. But even with children, you see how children end up growing, and we develop into different stages of our lives. Our mind expands, our like consciousness expands, we learn new things, we experience different things in life. But I do feel like there's times in life, and I think that society tends to do this, where we're like, okay, you're 21, you know, whatever, do whatever. And then we kind of start getting lost in between those spaces, because we start saying, okay, well, I had different stages of my life when I was younger, but now it seems like collectively society is saying I have to have this certain routine for myself. I have to have this kind of mindset where I'm just going through the motions of, well, you know, I wake up 9 to 5, go to work, do all of these things, and blah, 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 blah. And then meanwhile, Uranus is like, hey, just because your body stopped growing as fast, and just because other people stop putting pressure on you to grow as fast, doesn't mean that you don't need to continue to evolve in the process. You know what I'm trying to say? I do feel like the reason why people find Uranus such a headache here and there is because he forces you to come to terms with the evolution of your circumstances within those moments. And I do feel like we do get complacent, we do get comfortable, and this is a really great time to talk about it, because the moon is in Taurus. Okay, there's no more comfortable sign than Taurus. Okay, and so I do feel like there is a lot that has been happening and evolving through Uranus within the past couple of years, especially this year alone. Uranus currently is in Taurus, okay? And first of all, Taurus is a very interesting kind of sign for Uranus to be in the first place. And I say this because Taurus is very stubborn. Is the most stubborn sign in the zodiac. I said it a million times. You guys know this already. It is a very stubborn sign. It is a very comfortable sign. It likes to do the same things regularly. Okay, this is what we talk about, the comfort part and everything that I just mentioned. And so when Uranus comes in and says, okay, you've been doing the same thing for a while now, I need you to kind of change this kind of, you know, I need you to switch it up. I need you to, you know, there's other things that you could be doing. There's other ways that you could be enjoying life, that you're just not doing it. The same thing happens with the world. Because Taurus is an earth sign, Uranus naturally affects the actual planet Earth. So because Taurus has this connection to, like, for example, food. We all know Tauruses love to eat. This is not me making stuff up. Tauruses love to eat. Tauruses love food. They love animals. They love fruits. They love to connect with things that they can like have in plenitude. They like that, the abundance energy. They live, they thrive through that. Right now, if you notice, there's been a lot of shortages in food this year. There's been a lot of issues all around the world with food, with and different things happening randomly and chaotically. Like there'll be bombs one of the days. There'll be like random parties that people were throwing, and boom, people got the corona. Like the way people are enjoying life right now, which by the way, enjoying life is very Taurus energy. It's very, very, very Taurus energy. And the way you see how Uranus is kind of navigating through Taurus right now, it's like, okay, so this is how you want to behave. Okay, so I'm going to cut that from you. I'm going to take this from you. I'm going to prevent you from moving forward because you haven't addressed the big elephant in the room. The food aspect, the food shortages part has been a huge issue around the world for years, okay? So in the United States specifically, and I know there's other people from other countries that watch the live and stuff like that, so I'm sorry if I'm not specifically talking about your country, but in the United States specifically, 75% of the food grown in the United States is grown in California. So if something didn't just alert in your head, okay, about California when I said that, because you should have just been automatically thinking, oh wait, forest fires. They've been having a lot of forest fires. They've been having a lot of issues with water. They've been having a lot of issues, period. And they grow 75% of the food in the United States. California, okay? This issue has been going on for a long time. Climate change, for example, has been affecting the United States for a long time, but specifically farmers. It's been affecting food. It's been affecting areas that they mass produce and ship all over the world and things like that. It's been affecting that a lot. And Uranus being in Taurus hasn't made that any better at all, because it has been trying to alert society, the collective, like, hey, this is going to get worse. This food shortage is going to get worse. You guys are going to have a lack of certain things because you haven't been paying attention to the planet. And again, because Taurus is an earth sign, it highlights that earth energy. It highlights everything that grows from the earth, everything that Taurus enjoys and loves and likes in abundance. It is highlighting that. It is saying, wait, no, you haven't been paying attention to how you're growing your food. You haven't been paying attention to how you're taking care of the planet, how you're going to be growing food in the future. Like, I don't understand how you can continue to have these negative habits on the earth and still grow food. Like Uranus is like, I don't comprehend that, so I'm gonna start taking these things away from you so you can start reacting. You know, I need you to start reacting a little bit more. I need you to start thinking about all of these different aspects, because if you're not, if it's gonna get to the point where food is very scarce and you're not gonna be able to get certain things that you were used to getting, and you're not gonna start seeing stuff on the shelves even, what is going to happen with food? How are you going to nurture yourself? Are you going to just eat processed food? Are we going to just turn into like astronauts and just start eating like really, really badly processed foods? Like what is that going to look like? How are we evolving through nature? And that is really the question when it comes to Taurus and Uranus. How are we evolving through nature? What are we doing? How are we actually looking at what's going on around the world? Because it's not just the United States that's going through a lot of these food shortages. It's like all over. And you have to even, like, when you look back historically, when when a lot of the countries used to do the trading around the world, and they would come over here to get sugar cane and all of these type of things, and they would come and trade and do all of the nonsense that they did at the time. It seemed like everything was in abundance at those times, because things weren't as bad when it came to treating the world in a negative place and having all of this like CO2 in the air and all of these type of things. Things weren't on the level where we were actually harming the earth. We were just taking and taking and taking and taking and taking. And now we've gotten to the point where it's like, okay, we have built this society on the back of on literally the back of the world, and the world is suffering because we have neglected it. We have just kept taking and taking and taking and taking and taking. So there is this upgrading that is happening, not only collectively, because again, Uranus is a very collective energy. It's affecting all of us collectively, but also internally. How have you been taking advantage of yourself in the past few years? And this really goes hand to hand with the youth aspects of life, okay? And we're gonna get into this because this is really, really, really important for us to understand. When we are at our youth, okay, when we are at, you have the best, your body is in a good shape, you don't have any of types of like knee problems, and you're not in the doctor every other week and everything, all of these type of things that we know that, you know, like people who are older complain and say, oh my God, you know, my body's not how it used to be, and all of these kind of things that people say. How have you been abusing and taking advantage of your own vessel? Because you yourself, your physical body is part of the earth. And if the earth has not only been being abused collectively, how is it also getting abused singularly? So take a look at how you have been eating. What have you been putting inside of yourself? How you treat your body, how you speak about your body, how you disregard your body, which is the same things that we do to the planet Earth. We disregard it. We complain about certain things. We like look into, like, we'll look at like a river or something and be like, oh, it's full of like oil, or it's full of like it's dirty, it's not clean, but nobody will go in and clean it. It's the same thing with you. You'll complain about yourself, but then you won't do anything about the issue that you're complaining about. So how are you actually actively looking deeper beneath the surface? And this is why the weekly healing circle is called Beneath the Surface for this week, because I want you guys to think a little bit deeper about how you are connecting with yourself, because you are the physical embodiment of that root chakra energy, of that earth energy. You are the physical embodiment. So how are you nourishing yourself? How are you evolving? How are you challenging yourself? How are you not making things stagnant within yourselves? Because stagnation does not make for a healthy root chakra, okay? It does not. That's not how you grow a garden. And your root chakra is just a giant ass garden that you grow for yourself. So how are you evolving through these circumstances, okay? Especially now during Leo season, because when it comes to Leo energy, you do have to understand that Aquarius energy is opposite Leo energy. So during Leo season, Aquarian energy kind of tends to linger underneath the surface throughout this particular time. And so while we're out here, you know, living our best life and shining and being all, you know, our ego on blast and stuff like that, there is kind of this upgrade that happens through Leo season if you actually let it occur. Because you cannot shine, and the sun cannot continue to shine the way it does unless you fuel that fire with something, okay? There has to be a drive, there has to be a fire in order to do something at the end of the day. There has to be a certainty. And right now, the question is, how are you certain about your evolution? How are you certain about the way you're developing? How are you applying all of the things that you are learning, that you are getting downloads from, that you are getting, like, you know, even called out for? I mean, because a lot of the time Uranus is petty. He'll just be like, well, you know what? And just throw something in your face just so you can think about it, just so you can say, okay, you know what, let me slow down. I actually need to contemplate on this a little bit longer, because you're right. I do need to pull it back. I do need to regroup. I do need to think a little bit clearer about what it is that I need to integrate within myself, that I need to add to myself. How am I constantly evolving? This is something that I ask myself all the time, because my Venus is in Aquarius. So naturally, I am constantly challenging myself to grow, to evolve, to also take the downloads that I receive from spirit and apply them, and how I apply them, and how I share it, how I share it with you guys, how I share you messages with you guys, how I share it with my friends, my family, my wife. Like, how do I do that? How do I collectively kind of not just keep things to myself, but also allow myself to flourish through those messages, but also other people flourish through those messages as well. So there is this kind of underlining issue of how we're evolving And you're going to be seeing a lot of people who are in drought, who are not growing anything from their garden, who are not who are going to be suffering because they have not been applying anything, who they have not been evolving through this time. And it's going to impact the world in a physical sense, where there are these food shortages, there are these tornadoes, there are these out of the blue like bombs being dropped out of nowhere, and things like that. That's going to continue to happen by all means. But at the same time, within yourself, you're also going to have that same energy kind of taking effect, and challenging you to upgrade, to evolve, the way you receive pleasure, all of the things that Taurus rules, the way that you enjoy food, the way you connect with food, the way that you connect with money and what you value, what you love, the way that you connect with pleasure, the way that you connect with your partner as well. The way that you love, period. What does love look like for you? How has it evolved? On what vibration is love to you? Because love is still like the highest vibration that there is. So how do you connect to those type of energies, to that which is exalted through Uranus, that Taurus energy? Like, are you going to get your ass handed by Uranus on the negative way, or are you actually going to take a deeper look at yourself and say, okay, well, you know what, I really do need to stop talking down on myself. I really do need to stop like eating the stuff. This is not good. Like, I have not been eating properly. Like, I really need to kind of shift my mindset. I really need to start taking care of my body, because I, like, personally speaking, I want to be able to still do like headstands, like yoga headstands and stuff when I'm like 80. Okay, so that is my goal for myself. Like, I still want to make sure I'm physically like up in the mountain, just, you know, doing some Zen stuff, and I envision it already. I know it's gonna happen, but I know that's something that, you know, I think people should connect to. The idea of just being forever healthy, forever strong, forever like not getting like thinking that when you get, as you get older, you get weaker, but actually thinking that you get more powerful, more stronger, especially because the older you get, you become an elder, you become someone who has experienced. So how do you want to integrate these lessons in? And that's like one of the messages that I saw very, very heavily for this week. When it comes to Uranus energy, he's just coming up really, really hard for me. And I just wanted to share that specifically with you guys, because I feel like it's really important to kind of talk about this stuff, because this is the stuff that kind of goes unseen, and then all of a sudden it affects you and you're just mad about it. Like, you're just like, wait, I was worrying about this and now I'm worried about that. Like, it's like, why? You know what I mean? So I do want you guys to kind of think about that during this week, because I think it's really important. Okay, I just wanted to say that. We're going to start getting into the readings. Okay, let me just go into because I gotta look at the chat. Hold on. There we go. We're gonna go into the reading portion. So once again, if you want me to pull a card for you from the oracle cards, the cards that you can pick from, it's the flowers from the dead oracle card, the Archangel Gabriel, the Archangel Raphael, the Archangel Michael, the Romance Angels, okay, and the flower therapy cards. If you want me to pull a card for you, just like put a super chat for $5 or up or something, and then I will pull a card for you guys. I already got one, so I'm going to do that one, and then I'm going to start pulling cards for us collectively and seeing what's coming for this particular week. So I got a tarot reading earlier. I want to know if that's what Spirit really wanted me to know. You choose the deck. Thank you. Okay, so I'm actually going to pick this deck. I love this deck so much. It's actually, I've been connecting to it very, very heavily. I think this is probably the only Kemetic Egyptian deck that I like, to be honest. So I've just been using it kind of nonstop. I've been really obsessed with it. So Jose, okay, so we got a couple of cards. Lord, what in the world? Okay, so the first card that came out is a 5 of Wands. The next one is the Knight of Pentacles, okay? And the King of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles. I'm sorry, of Cups. My bad. So I think there's a couple of things happening in here. I think that you are kind of having a little bit of friction when it comes to not only the things that you're receiving, but also your intuition and how that's actually guiding you into your evolution right now. Talking about your evolution. I think that right now you're kind of going through a moment where you're just like not really sure how to take in what others are saying, especially if you asked a question and then you receive something that you maybe didn't want to hear, because I do feel like you're kind of fighting it a little bit. That's kind of the way I'm seeing it here. I feel like you need to actually sit down with what you're told, because right now you're at a place where this is what's happening. You have the Knight of Pentacles energy, and then you have the King of Pentacles energy. So the mindset that you're having is either going to prevent you from having and like elevating into that King energy, or you're just going to maintain your Knight of Pentacles energy because you're being a little bit stubborn, is what I'm seeing right now in the reading. That's really what I'm seeing. I feel like you're being a little bit stubborn, and it's because intuitively, even though you know something is kind of like right, or maybe it was only a part of the reading that you were supposed to take in, you're actually fighting it a little bit. You're really fighting it, and I feel like you don't realize that you were supposed to hear what you were meant to hear. You were actually supposed to like absorb it, and I think you need to set the intention to let things be revealed for your highest and greatest good moving forward, but actually setting the intention that you're going to try to not fight against what you heard either, because at the end of it, if you do fight against it, you're going to stay the same. You're not going to evolve. You're not going to be able to progress, because you have this kind of this, it's almost like you have two options. You have the option to ignore, you have the options to kind of move forward and actually do what you were guided to do. And that's going to either keep you in that kind of Knight energy, like you're just going to stay kind of a little bit more stubborn, or you're going to elevate into that King energy, and you're just like, okay, well, you know, it was possibly like a little bit irritating for me to hear that, but I'm actually going to I'm going to swallow it like a pill, and I'm going to just move forward. And that's what I'm seeing for you. Like, I do feel like there's definitely, like, look, bottom of the deck, you have the World, King of Swords, and the Two of Wands. Like, I feel like you're in the process of learning a lesson right now, and it's not necessarily a comfortable one to kind of integrate, and so the outcome might look a little bit kind of different than you want it to be, or especially when we do a lot of like that vision work and we try to envision what we want for ourselves and how we want to progress. And if somebody tells us, oh no, that's not really what you're supposed to be doing, you're supposed to be doing this, you're like, wait, I was doing this and you're telling me I have to just switch now? Like, it feels a little bit agitating to have to do that. But don't be stubborn. Don't be stubborn about it. Just flow with the energy, because you're actually just being called to be a little bit more like, just flow with the water with it. Intuitively connect with what you need to do, and you're gonna know what's right at the end of the day. Okay. Okay, hold on. There was another question. At a crossroads with a living situation, what's supposed to move to MIA, but that's a dub. Until further notice, is New Jersey my next move? Gabriel deck, please. Okay. Archangel Gabriel, what is up? I love Archangel Gabriel. He's just like such a great archangel to work with. Okay. Is New Jersey her next move? Ooh, hold on, because I just went all the way over there. Hold on. Woo! I'm gonna pull another card because I want to pull two. So. Okay, so the first one that came up for you is retreat. Okay, and it says to block out distractions, spend quiet time alone so that you can focus on your priorities. Okay, and this is actually really interesting why I feel like it's coming up for you as like that. To answer the question, I'm gonna read the other two in a second, but when it comes to retreat, it really goes into your internal communication with yourself. And if I were to get this card, like retreat, I would immediately go into a meditation and go talk to my higher self. Like, oh, what is in alignment for me? What am I supposed to be doing? I actually would recommend, if you are into astrology, do some astrocartography as well, because it'll help you see where in the world, astrologically speaking, you would actually thrive in, depending on what it is that you want to do. Because that's also the other thing, the other aspect about it. There's certain areas in the world that, astrologically speaking, will help you in different areas of your life depending on what it is that you need at the time. Okay, so I would actually do some astrocartography work, see where New Jersey falls for you in that space. If it's something that's going to help you and your progression and what it is that you want to do, then by all means. But I do feel like you need to kind of take it in a little bit deeper and follow your intuition with specifically what it is that you want to do and shift with. Because New Jersey and, like, especially if you live in New York, they tend to they're a very similar kind of like in a line, as far as astrologically in that line, they kind of fall very similarly, very slightly different but similarly. So you might have like a shift, like you might be, I don't know, depending on where your astrocartography is at, maybe you have like a Jupiter line in New Jersey that you didn't have while you were in New York or something like that. I hope I'm making sense. But I would kind of pull it back in and do more of that internal work when it comes to that. You're also getting nurture yourself, okay, which says investing time in self-care now will yield more energy for you later. You also got media. Interestingly enough, you can reach more people by working with video, audio, print, and online media. So what I'm getting from this is that you have to analyze what it is that you want to do. So you guys remember that story that I told you guys earlier about how last year I intuitively just knew that I just wanted to have more access to food. So that's why I kind of ended up, and I completely shifted everything that I ended up doing. I moved out of New York. I started working in Jersey. I was definitely, finances wise, I was in a different place too, because New York City tends to be more expensive. So you have to analyze it all in that way, and the way you should approach it is also in that way. So you have to think about it like when you're looking at apartments in certain, especially with the media card, when you're looking at apartments in New Jersey, if you are interested in moving here, what is your goal with moving here? What do you want to have moving here? Like, one of the things that I wanted to have, that I manifested, is that I didn't want to have to pay for the light bill and do all of that type of work, because that's just extra stuff. Mine is included in the rent, so I don't even have to do that. And I manifested a great apartment, and it's great and amazing, and I have no issues. Okay, so when it comes to what it is that you want to do, how do you want this space to nurture you? How do you want it to kind of like develop you in any way? What do you want to have? One of the things that I wanted to have was a tree outside my window, and I literally have 2 trees outside my window. I wanted to have a big open space where I could do yoga, where I can like cook, when I could do different things, where my roommates were like, you know, chill and stuff. Like, I set all of these different types of intentions just specifically to focus on this, on the nurturing myself aspect of the thing. So I really kind of had to pull back, okay? Pull back from the initial thought of, okay, I have to move, to, okay, but I actually need to manifest the right place for me. I hope this is making sense. But this is what I mean about the retreat and nourishing yourself. Okay, if you are going to move into a different space, or if you're calling in your place to come in, you have to make sure that it's going to work with you on all levels. So one of the things I did is I also looked at my astrocartography. I also saw how it was going to benefit me energetically speaking, how I was going to thrive in this space as well, how I was going to be able to still do the work that I needed to do, how far I was going to be from my family who is in New York. Like, all of these questions I had to answer, and so I had to pull back and check. I wrote down everything. I was like, okay, literally went into retreat mode, okay, and I wrote down everything. I said, okay, this is what I want. I don't want it to go above this amount of money. I don't want it to do X, Y, Z. I don't want to have to pay this extra. I want it to be in a safe space. I want it to be close to work. I wanted to, you know, like, I literally wrote the list down. I pulled back, I wrote that down, because all of that hand in hand goes into nourishing myself. I want to be in somewhere that I feel comfortable in. So you have to think about that. It's not just, should I move to this place? Is, wait, am I going to be literally able to be myself in these spaces? Like, what space am I calling in? It's kind of like calling a boo. Like, calling an apartment and a place and a spot is literally like almost like calling like a lover to you, because you have to enjoy it at the end of the day. And so when you look at and when you connect with like different websites and stuff, this is where you're getting the media card. When you connect with different websites and you're looking at like different things, if something is missing something that you wanted, or that you actually have in one of your intentions, it's not for you. That's the other thing that was another big one for me when I was looking and connecting to calling in like my next place that I was going to live in. Like I was literally like, I'm not compromising on the things that I want, and I didn't. And I found a great place, and I found it very quickly too. It was just like within a week I manifested this current apartment, and my last current apartment I manifested that in like 3 days. So it's not something that's really difficult to do, because it's not necessarily like a lover, but I do feel like you should think about all of the aspects of what moving in looks like, because that it is a relationship with a space that you're having. So what do you want it to have? Ghosts in there? Do you want it to be peaceful? Do you want to be able to have access to like the yard, the trees? Like, do you want to park nearby? All of these things matter for your like for your nourishment. Okay, for your nourishment. So I hope this makes sense, because I want you to think like Archangel Gabriel's like at the end of the day, it's like wait, but are you gonna be comfortable though? Like, we get that you want to move, but are you like, what is it, you know? Because if not, if you just want to move somewhere, I mean, like, okay, there's tons of apartments that you can move to, but like, what are you gonna thrive in? You know what I mean? That is the question. That is the correct question. Okay, I'm glad it makes sense. I'm glad that it makes sense. Seriously. That spirit never wants you to be uncomfortable at the end of the day. So it's like if you're just trying to call in a random apartment, you're gonna be randomly put in a random place, and you're just not gonna be happy. So laughing my ass off at the cracking up at the ghost. No, but for real though, especially when you're spiritually inclined, most part spirit won't put you in places that are like haunted or anything like that. But you know, you will be tested, especially like, let's say you set the intention that you wanted to like, you know, start talking to spirits, and then you're also moving at the time. They'll throw you in a haunted house just so you can start talking to spirits. Yo, some ancestors be petty like that. They'll be like, okay, here, learning one-on-one with the ghosts. Okay, so I'm gonna read the next question. Okay, so Jala asks, flower therapy deck please, curious about how to evolve in my relationship and career over the next year. Ooh, okay. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Curious about how to evolve with my relationship and career over the next year. Curious. Oh, babe, the car slowly just flew across the room, so you're gonna have to give me a second. Babe, Leslie, can you pass me the car? Come on. I swear, babe's my little helper. She just like gets me the cars for me all the time. I need to stop shuffling so hard, yo. My shuffle hand is like. I'm gonna have to do some lives on like the floor where I can just pick the cards up really fast. Babe. Ooh, that was a lot of cards. She just ended up picking up a FaceTime call, like, randomly. She's so funny. Okay, so a lot of stuff came up, actually. Okay, so your question was how to evolve with your relationship and career over the next year. The first one you got is time to decide. Make a decision now so you can move forward. So intention matters. Okay, the next one is shield yourself. Ooh, Virgo season is going to be interesting for you, boo. Invoke protection to bring the situation to a speedy end. Okay. The next one is cleanse your energy. When you release negativity, the answer to your question shines through. Woo! Open your arms to receiving. You've prayed for help, now be open to accepting it. So the basically the collective message of your cards, okay, is that you need to go into analyzation mode. Okay, analyzation mode is something that I start doing around Sag season, to be honest. because that's when my season starts coming. You know, Capricorn season comes, it's like time to analyze, because that's the end of the damn year. So the question is, you have to start setting intention, and you really have to go into self-evaluation mode, where you're looking at every aspect of your life, every single aspect of your life. You're going to question everything. Ask yourself, where are you happy in every single aspect of your life? Are you happy with your body? Are you happy with your food habits? Are you happy with your health? Literally every aspect of your body. Are you happy with your family relationships? Are you happy with your mental health? Are you happy with your self-care, self-love? Are you every single aspect of your life? You need to go into self-analyzation mode. Whatever it is, and this is where you're getting the time to decide, because your intention's gonna matter. And when you start analyzing and saying, okay, well, I need to work on this, I need to shift that, I need to also kind of, you know, I could do more of this, I can add more time. When you start doing that, you're setting an intention, and that's when the shift is going to come, because then you're gonna go into shield yourself mode. And what is shield yourself mode? Shield yourself mode is really that Virgo, this is what I'm saying, Virgo season is gonna be interesting for you, because shield yourself mode is that hermiting energy, the hermiting vibes, okay, where you are like internally kind of enlightening yourself with your progress, with what you're doing, like literally separating yourself, detaching from the world, and saying, okay, I'm just kind of focusing on me. I'm trying to dive in a little bit deeper into me. I'm kind of just like, especially when it comes to toxic people and things like that, and any type of like chaos and toxicity that you have with friendships, with enemies, with anything at work and wherever, just kind of pulling back, not reacting, not talking out, not necessarily being present, not like, especially if you're at work and somebody's like talking shit or something like that, and you're instead of like reacting in that moment, like pulling back, being like, I'm kind of doing me right now, like pull it back. So it's kind of like going in through this kind of internal dialogue with yourself for the remainder of the year, where you're actually going through a cleanse. And this whole thing is cleansing your energy, because when you go through the process of resetting an intention, you're self-evaluating, you're going internally, you're detaching from others, you're cleansing your energy, you're like, okay, I'm resetting, okay, then you can open your, what in the world, what kind of bug is this? It was just like a bug by the window. I'm just like, what is that? Then you can open yourself up to receiving what it is that you actually wanted. Because what did you do in the beginning? You evaluated the things that were wrong, so you can welcome in what you want. You see how that works? You see how that works? So you have to go through this process. It might take you like longer. It might take you, hi Pinky, my love, how are you? Look at Pinky, look at Pinky, look at, look at Pinky. But how are you, like, how long is this is gonna take you to take? Like, for me, it takes me like about a couple of weeks to kind of go through the self-evaluation mode. Especially as a Capricorn, I have to like, I have to really sit with myself and say, okay, 2021, what is it that I want to do? What are my goals? How much do I want to grow? I literally go into question and answer mode. And that's something that as a Capricorn, I naturally do every single time, because I need to have a set of goals for the remainder of the year, or I am lost for that year if I don't do this. So naturally, I go into this motion. So for you, it might take longer, it might take shorter, you might be able to do this a little bit faster. But at the end of the day, if you're really focusing on shifting the energy for 2021, you have to reevaluate. You have to change everything. You really have to say, okay, what is working, what is not working, and then change that, shift that, and then open yourself up to receiving the things that you have wanted to bring in later on. That's it. That's it. It's really that simple. It's not crazy. Okay, so we have another one. Jesus Christ. Okay, hold on. Met someone recently that I connected with, but due to some circumstances, communicating has cooled. Am I wasting my time? Romance angel deck, please. Pick the damn card. Picked the deck. Okay. This is gonna be the question. This is gonna be the question. All right, romance angels. You have been summoned. You have been summoned. Hold on. So, are they wasting their time? Are they wasting their time? Ooh. Okay, so you got two different cards. And I think that I feel like a component of this answer has to do with like the level of commitment that you want. What is your intention? And it's gonna come down to this, but we're gonna talk about why you got these two cards. So the first one is playfulness, okay? And it says to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit to shine. The second one is getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost self to each other, your bond deepens. Now, why are you getting these two cards? Well, first of all, it is Leo season. And let's talk about pleasure for a second, because Leo rules the 5th house of pleasure, which is fun, which is going out, which is sex, which is, you know, like dating, which is like, you know, flirting. It's like, again, it's that playfulness. It's that playfulness. It's that like, you know, initial like fire and like getting cute for the person and DMing and getting cute for like all of these different things and like all of these type of things. It's very Leo energy. And so when we're talking about what communication looks like and how someone is communicating with you and how things kind of were good for a second and they switched over and things like that, you have to look back at the intention that you set before you actually called in this person. If you did call in this person, if you didn't call in this person, then you are going to have to reset that intention for what it is that you want. So for example, if you want to continue to get to know this person, you're going to have a little bit more playful approach to it. So you're going to have to tell spirit and pray like, hey, if this person is someone that I'm supposed to have a connection with, keep those doors open, like communicate with spirit. So it's not just you being like, oh my God, I feel like I'm just like, I got left on red or whatever the heck it is. That person could be going through something. Everything doesn't revolve around you either. Please, okay, please keep that in mind. I know it's Leo season. We're all like, you know, we're all our own sons, but also everything doesn't revolve around you either. Like there are some aspects in the way people communicate that might not be the preference to other people, especially if somebody is going through something. I mean, this is easily the year where people could literally be just dropping dead out of nowhere and they can have a whole family emergency that they just can't talk to you about because they now have to deal with all of these emotions attached to that. And so you might be taking it as, oh my God, I'm taking it personally, like it just kind of cooled off, but they might be going through a whole another situation and they don't feel super comfortable talking to you about it because it's new and fresh and thing. You know what I mean? So there is kind of this level of intention that you have to revisit with yourself. Do you want to continue this? And if you do continue it, you do have to keep it lighthearted as well. But you have to also make that person feel comfortable enough to get to know you and to trust you and to share these type of things with you. And not just kind of be like, I'm mad because they just left me on red for like 3 days or something like that. Because that's just, it doesn't make any sense. There's so much that could be happening this year, because 2020 is like a hot mess of a year. So you can't expect and move through the same type of thing. You can't think that everything is just gonna be the damn same as it has always been. It's just not realistic. So keep it light, but reset your intention and pray and ask spirit. Be like, hey, spirit, if this is something that's meant for me, help me be honest, help me keep it, keep myself honest, help me be myself, help me be comfortable, help me enjoy this person's company. But at the same time, if this person is like meant to be a part of my energy, help like let that be, open that door up again, help me to connect. And if you do decide to reach out, just be like, hey, just hoping everything's okay, hopefully nothing bad happened, I was just thinking about you, whatever. Like keep it very simple, keep it very like playful. Don't just kind of think that everything is just like, oh, well, it didn't happen, so it didn't work, so, you know, just be a little bit more flexibility. But yeah, keep it a little bit more playful. It's Leo season, okay? It's Leo season. Just relax and be flirty, you know, all of the things that we can't do socially, do it digitally right now. It's like the best kind of way to approach that, to be 1000% honest. Okay, so I'm going to take the last one and then I'm going to be pulling the collected cards for the week. Okay, can you use the Archangel Raphael? How can I heal my heart and manifest true love? Ooh, hold on. Oh my God, this is the 1 week that nobody asked for Archangel Michael. Oh my God. What? This doesn't happen, you guys. Okay, hold on. So, how can Steph heal her heart to manifest true love? Archangel Raphael. Ooh, that is such a beautiful answer. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Oh, okay. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. So the first one you got is sunlight. This is why I'm like, hold on. And the prayer goes, Dear Archangel Raphael, please help me enjoy the benefits of sunshine in self in healthy ways. Why is it coming up for you in Leo season? The sign that is ruled by the sun. Or how can you heal your heart if not through sunshine? You need to analyze the way that Leos love, my love, okay? Because they have a big heart. They have a big heart. But Leos just give that love so freely to those who they care for. And when it comes to the sunlight, the sun does exactly the same thing. It shines everywhere. Even if you don't want the sunlight to be on you, unless there's a tree nearby that you can go stand in, it's going to shine. That's the same way that Leo loves. It just does it. It just naturally, unapologetically lets loose and just is open with that energy. So you're getting sunlight because you also have to understand that love is not meant to be buried. It's not meant to be hidden. It's not like, especially, you know, those people who are like, I don't like PDA outside and all these type of things. They're just kind of a little bit obnoxious sometimes. You kind of have to share that sometimes. If you want to hold somebody's hand when you're walking down the street with them, do that. If you want to give them a kiss, do that. If you want to, like, you know, just share that love, or even like posting it on social media or like whatever, or letting people know, letting your friends and family like know, like, hey, like, I really care about this person. Do that. That actually helps to expand that heart loving energy. Okay, it's not just about, like, Leos don't like to keep things internal. That's not how Leos love. It's all about showing it. It's a show. I'm showing you how I love. And so sunlight for you, if you want to actually heal your heart, you have to allow it to expand through you. You have to allow it to just completely take up all the space, because love has to take up all the space. If not, it will completely just diminish. It'll just stay quiet. It'll go down. It won't be able to kind of like thrive in your spaces. It'll just kind of, you know, just hide in the dark almost. It's almost like when, you know, when a candle is about to just turn off. It's kind of like that. It's just kind of like the sad little, and then poof, it turns to smoke and it's not there anymore. And now you're in the dark. You have to allow yourself to actually like shine through your heart. Your heart energy, your love energy, it's supposed to be open. That's why a lot of people are always saying, and I always have this with my friends, this happens all the time, we'll all be outside, and somebody will be like, oh my God, my heart chakra is so open, like something will happen, like we'll all come together and be like, oh my God, my chest, my heart, like, oh my God, like what is happening? And that energy is very, very, very expansive. It's very, like, it's needed. It's a needed energy, because it's not just like everybody's keeping everything together. It's like everybody's sharing it. It's not just like one thing. It's everybody is actually sharing that energy. So I want you to think about it in that sense. It's not about burying down your emotions. It's about expanding it. Okay. The next card that you have is actually sobriety. Okay. And the prayer says, Dear God and Archangel Raphael, thank you for adjusting my cravings in healthful direction so that I only desire life affirming foods and beverages. And the reason why sobriety is a really big thing is that if you are, especially when it comes to misusing the things that you intake in your body, and then this goes hand in hand with the tools that you use, with the way that you take care of your skin, with the way that you like take care of your hair and different things. Like if there's certain aspects of your body that you mistreat, that you don't take care of, then you end up not actually loving parts of yourself. So therefore you end up not loving parts of other people as well. I hope that that makes sense. So having a sense of knowing and understanding your love energy, understanding your connection to that which nourishes you, you then are able to think about love in a way that is nourishing to others as well. So it's not just like, oh, I love you, but why do you love? How do you love? Like all of the questions that come up with love, you have to heal those little elements of it. So if you, like, for example, if you love to over text or over if you get obsessed with someone, or you're just overly very caring, but the other person, it doesn't show that same type of thing, you have to also know how to reel that back in, to sober up in those moments and say, you know what, you're not reciprocating the amount of love I'm giving you, so I'm going to pull it back because I don't think you're understanding how I care about you. So obviously, since you don't understand that, I'm not going to be giving you that, because that's not something you can handle. I'm going to call in the person that can handle my love energy. So I hope that that made sense to you guys. So I'm gonna do the collective reading now, okay, to see what's going on with us for this week. Okay, let's see what's happening. So what do we need to be mindful of collectively for this week? Okay. Okay. Lots of things. Lots of things. Okay, I will take 2 more cards from Spirit on what we need to be collected. Okay, so they said 3. We're not gonna argue. We're not gonna argue with Spirit. Bottom of the deck is a 9 of Wands and the World card. I'm not really surprised, but the first card that came out is a Knight of Swords and 10 of Cups. Okay. Then we have the Hierophant and the 3 of Wands. We have the Star and the Empress. And the last is the Page of Wands. So what is going on this week? Well, first and foremost, I do feel like we are kind of in the state of wanting it all this week. And I mean, I feel like this is a really, it's a beautiful thing to think about when you have this kind of Taurus energy coming through, especially because the moon is currently in Taurus. Leo energy loves Venus energy as well. So there is in our minds, we're very daydreamy this week. I feel like we're kind of in a mindset where we're really trying to call in that abundant energy, especially on an emotional level. We want to make sure that we feel good, and I think that we're actually thinking about those things a little bit harder this week. We're like, okay, I want to feel good. What makes me feel good? How am I analyzing these things? I feel like if you're daydreaming, if you're doing a lot of vision work this week, you are actually going to be shifting the way you vision to match how you want to actually live, not just thinking about realities that are not necessarily you're not going to be in a relationship with a celebrity or something like that, but something that is actually super realistic to your energy, you feel so in alignment with. It's a very beautiful combination to bring out. And I feel like right now we're breaking out of these habits of conforming with what society wants from us. And that's happening because, again, that the Hierophant Taurus energy, Uranus is kind of shifting and changing a lot of those perspectives, a lot of the things that we used to collectively just do as follow as norm. So I do feel like we're all analyzing, what is our destiny? What is it that we want to do? How do we want to connect? How do we want to evolve? What do we want to change? How do I want my apartment to be? How do I want to live? Where do I want to live? Where am I being called to? All of the things that you need to kind of think about and acknowledge about your circumstances, your life, your reality, your sense of self, your sense of your journey at the end of the day, and how you're getting there, how you're living. Are you living? Are you actually I want you guys to actually think about this week. how you are living, how you are connecting, how you are evolving, how you are wishing up for a better future for yourself. Not just like every week you're getting by or something like that, but actually like what is your dream for yourself? What do you see? What do you envision for yourself? What is the larger picture? Because I feel like a lot of us are going to be visually connecting to that water like energy of manifestation. It's not just on the pinnacle level. I feel like it is like we're envisioning that happily ever after feeling, what that's going to look like, what it's going to feel like, who it's going to feel like with all of these type of aspects. I feel like we're kind of like coming into visually touching into our abundance, and how the Empress goes from being who she is to then enjoying a lot of the fruits of her labor. Like there's just like this kind of, you know what, I thought about it, 2020 has had me in my head, I think I know what I want now. Like it's a place where if you're really thinking about how you're gonna walk forward every step you take in 2021, you're gonna have purpose. I feel like there's a shift that's happening into happiness, into joy, into like what we're meant to be doing, how we're meant to be progressing, what our lives look like moving forward. And I think that this week there's going to be a lot of contemplation in that, in finding our pleasure, finding our love, finding what makes us happy, finding what makes us feel good, finding and connecting to the things that we love to do, the things that we love to create, and how we evolve through that, and how those things are connected to our destiny and our life and our goals and what we want to achieve at the end of the day. So this is it's a very beautiful kind of energy, and we're getting a lot of like different types of energies coming up. We have that Taurus energy, we have the Aquarius energy, we have that Venus energy here. Like I feel like I do feel like this is definitely a feel-good week, but I do think that this is a very analyzing week. We are going to, I think that when next year comes around, you're going to look back at this year and you're just going to be like, yo, this is a completely different year. It just feels different. It just is different. There's something different about 2020 shifted everything. It's almost like, again, it's like that midway point. Remember we were talking about the heart chakra and how when your heart chakra is messed up, the other areas is messed up. It's kind of like that. Like I feel like 2020 is coming in, wrecking certain aspects of our lives, and then having us restructure, re-question, redo, refunction everything. And I feel like it's going to be really, really productive. And I do feel like we're coming out of 2020 in a different place. So we'll see how that goes down. I'm excited to see how all of this energy like ends up developing within the next couple of months, honestly. What do we need to know collectively? Okay. All right, so the first one that came out is trust and home. Okay. The next two that came out was mystery and magic for this week. And then we have generosity and good luck. So I'm not really surprised about any of these. I do feel like there is this deeper connection of how we're kind of relating and how we're calling things in from now on, especially things that we need, things that we want to kind of manifest. It's not just about like, you know, thinking that you're not going to get it or anything. I feel like manifestations are going to be happening a little bit faster than they have before. And I think the reason is because we're all collectively trusting the divine a little bit easier, a little bit more intensely. Like there's just a connection with that trust aspect that, you know what, 2020 has just been like, some people will be like, this is a really bad year, so I'm just gonna trust it, because what else can happen? You know what I mean? Like if this is the craziest stuff that's happened all year, like what else can happen? I'm not gonna trust. This is gonna happen. This is gonna work out. I believe that this is coming. I believe that this is gonna work out. I believe that I'm gonna be fine. I believe that I'm gonna be taken care of. All of these type of aspects. I do feel like there is a lot of different things that are happening also and shifting, especially with how you're using your magic, how you're using your intuition, how you're connecting on a spiritual level, and different spirits that you're working with as well. I challenge you this week, especially because this card is coming out. I am just intuitively being guided to say, I challenge you this week to call in one of your spirit guides that you have, but you don't even know that you have. And ask them, be a little bit deeper with them, connect with them, and ask them different questions. Try to dive in deeper. Try to get to know your spirit guides a little bit deeper this week, because I feel like it's going to help shift your mentality on how you're going to get through certain aspects of your life, especially with career and stuff like that. Like if you are like kind of struggling with your finances, or you're struggling with different aspects of your career, ask one of your spirit guides. Just pick one to say, hey, the spirit guide that's meant to help me in this area of my life, can you please show yourself? And then just start connecting and asking questions. How can I integrate your energy better? How can I work with you better in order to help me succeed in these aspects of my life? Like, how can you help me on a day-to-day? What do I need to do on a day-to-day to help me, assist me in shifting this energy? I do feel like there's different ways, and there's things hidden in the background on how we can move through the energy. Not just kind of like, I hope this is making sense, but like kind of how is like the mysteries that are hidden in those who guide you, and how they ultimately are kind of helping you navigate your circumstances so you can get to the place that you're supposed to be in. So I hope that made sense, but I do feel like there's this deeper connection with the crow this week, with that mysterious energy, and how that ultimately leads you to that good luck and that abundance type energy, where you're not kind of like struggling or not knowing where things are the way they are, but you're actually working directly with your spirit guides. And it's like, it's a mystery to everybody else why you're evolving and why you're good and why you're taken care of, but to you, you're like, no, I know what I'm doing. You know, I'm actually actively working on what I'm supposed to be doing. So yeah, so I hope that makes sense. Messages for us collectively. Ooh, okay. Okay. Lord. So we have emotional healing. Okay. It is safe for you to let go of old emotional pain. By doing so, you allow your heart to mend. That's one. Then you have shield yourself, invoke protection to bring a situation to a speedy end. And you have be positive. Okay, your thoughts can shape your experience to be so be sure to focus on the positive. Okay, this is why I feel like in our tarot cards we got that Knight of Swords, because I do feel like our minds are playing a bigger part this week in everything. I feel like it's not just, wait, hold on, Luna, back the hell up, relax. She's about to attack me. She's so cute. She jumped off the bed and she came straight next to me. But I do feel like our mind is playing a bigger role in how we are manifesting, how we're connecting, how our feelings are being kind of taken care of. I feel like your mind, if you're not clear on what your intention is, especially when it comes to disconnecting with other people and things that you just shouldn't be a part of right now for this week, then you're going to get trapped in certain aspects that are going to kind of trip you up. So try to stay on the positive, disconnect from any type of situation that's negative, even if that includes family members, friends, or certain like things. Like if you feel like, hey, you're being asked to go out and you're just like, it's not in my spirit, like I don't feel like I should be doing it right now, don't do it. Trust me, you're going to be making it worse on yourself if you do. So just pull back and try to maintain that light within yourself as best as you can, or else you're just going to end up tripping up and it within your mind and also your emotions, because you're emotionally a little bit more, you're going to be a little bit more sensitive, and which is not surprising because we're getting a lot of like spiritual cards for this week. So let's see what's going on. Archangel Raphael, what do we need to know for this week? What do we need to know? The card that just came out. What do we need to know for this week? Okay, so we got 3 different cards from Archangel Raphael. The first one is listen to your intuitive feelings. To your higher self, thank you for speaking loudly and clearly in peaceful ways that I can easily understand. Archangel Raphael, thank you for guiding me to listen to my inner wisdom. Okay, the next one is call on Archangel Raphael for help. Dear Archangel Raphael, I ask for your healing help with describe the situation. Thank you for your divine healing and intervention. So when in doubt, use that voice, okay, to ask for that healing. And the archangels are always there to help you guys. I say this every week. The next one is fresh air. Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for helping me breathe easier in all ways. And I do feel like a lot of it, when it comes to Leo season, you have to be outside. If you're not outside, you're going to be mad because you're not going to be able to kind of connect to that sunlight energy. Okay, that sunlight energy. And you're not going to be able to like feel comfortable. It's just not going to feel right. It's going to feel very trapping. Leo season is to shine. It's not to be trapped in anything. I hope that makes sense. What's going on in our love lives for this week? What is going on in our... Hold on, because that was a lot of cards. Give me a second. Hold on. Okay, that was way too many cards, so I'm going to shuffle them again, because that was a lot. That was a lot of cards. Okay. So what is going on for us collectively in our love lives this week? What is going on with us collectively in our love lives this week? Hold on. What's going on with us collectively in our love lives this week? Okay, so we got 2 cards. The first one is trust. Trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. That trust is also an intention, by the way. 1000% an intention. Hold on. I have like a water gun that I have to shoot Luna because she tries to attack Pink sometimes, and she's fine now. But when it comes to like trust, especially in relationships, especially if you're like especially for the person that was like left on red and stuff like that, I feel like you do have to like trust that everything is not conspiring to be against you. You have to like also have faith and wait for things to develop on their own time as well. You can't just like try to force yourself through everything because it just doesn't work that way. The other card that we got is reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning into your life. I'm not really surprised that this is coming up because again, we still have so much stuff in retrograde, you guys, that this is like kind of bound to just pop up and happen regardless of the fact, regardless if Mercury's in retrograde or not. So you want to just relax, breathe, especially if you're having this type of situation come up, or it's like somebody from your past hit you up or something like that. Ask for guidance, ask to be shown what it is that you're meant to learn, why this person's coming back in your life. I mean, at the end of the day, the best people to ask about this is spirit. Ask if it's in alignment, ask if you're meant to connect to any capacity, ask if you are meant to kind of connect, or is there something that this person is supposed to teach you? That's like one of my favorite questions to ask when it comes to people that I meet, new people that I meet. I'm like, what is this person going to teach me? What do I need to learn? What do I need to how do I need to grow? How is this person going to help me evolve in any capacity? Like, you know, I ask myself these questions, and then I ask spirit to help me answer that through my interactions through that person. So I'm not just like lost in the sauce of life, you know, trying to be like, oh my God, they hit me up, like, and just being like lost. Like, no, don't be lost. Ask the correct questions. Okay. Hold on. Archangel Gabriel. What are our collective messages for this week? What are our collective messages for this week? Ooh. Retreat. To block out distractions, spend quiet time alone so you can focus on your priorities. Your priorities. So what is your priority? I feel like for this week specifically, there is like a focus. We are a little bit more sensitive. I think again, it's very watery energy for this week. I think that we're trying to do a little bit more and have a little bit more focus when it comes to our growth, to what we want, to our vision, what we see in life, how we want to connect, how we want to evolve. And I feel like we're just in a very daydreamy week. That's what it feels like to me. So I feel like if you, again, especially with the way the cards came up, if you need to do that, if you need to pull back, if you need to say, okay, let me actually think about how I want next year to be. Let me actually think about like the energy that I want to call in. Let me look at it. Let me actually think about it. Let me not just kind of fall in the trap of waiting for everything to kind of go down the way it's going to go down. Let me actually think about it and envision my life. Not just wait to get tripped up, but actually envision it. Archangel Michael, what is coming up for us collectively? What is coming up for us collectively? Archangel Michael, what is coming up for us collectively? Okay, hold on. So we got your home is protected by angels. Well, that's really beautiful. Thanks. And the prayer goes, Archangel Michael, thank you for watching over my home and its inhabitants. I ask that you post guardian angels at each window and door, ensuring that its security. Thank you for guiding my finances so I can easily afford to pay rent, mortgages, and taxes. Lots of home stuff coming up for this week. I feel like there is like a huge focus in the home. And I do feel like if, especially because again, there's been a lot of stuff happening with evictions and a lot of stuff happening collectively in the world, especially in the United States, where there's just so much financial trauma happening with people right now. Make sure that you are calling on Archangel Michael and the archangels to protect you during this time, especially when it comes to your home space, because your home space is a sacred space. Okay, it's like church. It's a sacred space, so you want to make sure that you are addressing it as such, and you're making it holy as much as you can, and not just having it be a place that can get taken from you. You have to make sure that you have those spells on hand. You have to make sure that it's protected. You have to make sure that you have those layers of like that abundance coming in, but that wall of protection on the outside as well when it comes to your home space. So just be very mindful of that. Okay, so our planetary energy for this week, we have Venus, so please make sure you're looking at your transits for all of these. Mercury, Pisces, which I told you guys I'm not surprised this energy is coming up for us this week, and we also have Earth. So spiritual bath this week. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear no complaining. Spiritual bath this week, please and thank you. Make sure you make it something that is very like relaxing, nourishing. Just try to soothe your body as best as you can. I do feel like there's a really good, I'm really glad we did the root chakra meditation for this week. And if you need to come back to it and do it any other point in time during the week, make sure you rewatch the live for that as well, because I feel like some people actually are going to need it. And also, again, the thoughts, that mind energy, it's coming back in for this week, and we did get that in the cards. So envisioning the visions of your life. What does that look like? How do you want to manifest it? How do you want 2021 to be like? I already honestly started thinking about it, even though there's certain things that I'm working on now, but I already started thinking about it just because I know that I have to be ready to receive it like January 1st, 2021. Like, I'm not trying to like have things come later than they need to be just because I'm indecisive. I'm really trying to call it in earlier on. So be mindful. Just have that mindset of like, actually, let me start envisioning now. Let me not waste my time. So mudras for this week. What mudras should we be using during our meditations for this week? What mudras should we be using for our meditations for this week? Okay, we got 4 mudras for this week. So let's do it. So the first one is lower body breathing. So again, if you need to re-reference these, just come back to the live in the later part of the week when it goes up. But it says, firmly supported by body and breath, I move forward in life with complete confidence. Okay? I'm just gonna flip it around so you guys can pause it and read it when you get a chance, okay? So that's what it looks like. Lower body breathing. The next one that came out is purity. Woo, purity. And this one says, purification at all levels of being allows me to journey with clarity and simplicity. Oh, that is beautiful. Purity. Let me flip that over so you guys can read that. There we go. Okay. And then the next one that came up is lightness of air. Okay, lightness of air. Lots of air energy this week. Living with great lightness and ease, I am naturally touched by all of life's beauty. I'm telling you guys need to do a spiritual bath this week. So lightness of air. Especially if you need to do some self-care this week, you want to use this mudra. I'll flip it over so you guys can read it as well. Okay. And the last one is withdrawal of the senses. As my senses rest deeply, I experience greater peace and clarity. Ooh. Lots of mind work, like lots of emotional work this week. It's a very transformative week. It's a very visionary week. Very Uranus week. So what lies underneath the surface? That is why that was the title for this video. Okay, so those are the 4 mudras for this week. So anytime this week you can come back and just connect with the one that you are called to do. I'm gonna leave these there for a second, okay? And we are going to wrap up. I have an announcement that I need to make that the Patreon already know because I already told them today. But I am launching a podcast, okay? I've been wanting to do this for like a couple of years, but Spirit literally threw it in my face recently, and it was just like, you need to do this. I've been getting so many downloads of things I need to do, to be honest. I'm working on an oracle deck, okay? That's happening. That's a coming. And it's gonna be a collab with one of my lovely spiritual friends, who is an artist, who's an amazing artist, and I'm really excited to dig in deep, and I can't wait to like explain it to you guys, because the download of this deck was so crazy, where I literally like see what it's gonna look like and everything. Like it's just a very beautiful thing. But I'm working on a lot of different projects. It's a lot. However, I did want to, like, Spirit was just like, you need to do this. So I guess we're gonna just have platforms everywhere. That's what Spirit wants me to do. So I am creating a podcast, and it's called Between Ascension. And the reason why it's called Between Ascension is because I want it to be focused on the things that happen in between elevations that we have on a spiritual level, and how those experiences actually help you to evolve. So the conversations are going to be literally covering so many different topics. And I'm gonna be putting like different ways where the patrons are actually gonna also kind of get to vote on different topics that we talk about as well, here and there. But it is going to be something that I feel like it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing to share. I'm gonna have conversations with different people. I'm gonna start it off with just me, but I am going to start adding in different people as well. And I can't wait to just kind of grow it with you guys and have different types of conversations that I can't necessarily have on YouTube, because of just the way that YouTube is. But just having that podcast and being able to communicate with you guys in that way. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, so that is launching on Wednesday. I am going to put the link on the community tab on Wednesday for you guys, so you guys can like follow and everything, and hear the first one. But yeah, I can't wait to share it with you guys. I'm really excited. But yeah, so stay tuned for that. Patrons already got the link for it already, so they can start checking it out. But the first episode is not updated yet, so stay tuned. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. I am about to literally post the Book of Shadows weekly prompt for the Patreon, so stay tuned for my patrons for that. That's coming tonight after the live. And yeah, I will definitely see you guys in the next video. For the what platforms it's going to be on, it's going to be in all platforms that have podcasts, if that makes sense. So you can actually look up the name already and like follow it. It should be up already. But yes, so I will definitely see you guys in the next video. Do not forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell to get notified every time I upload and all the jazz. And don't forget to check out the Patreon as well, because we're always learning and growing over there. I will see you in the next one. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here with me this week. Bye. Have a good night.